Big win for the fight for fairness in women's college sports as a federal judge in Kentucky temporarily blocks the new Title IX rule in 6 more states. Let's bring in Riley Gaines, Independent Women's Forum ambassador and OutKick contributor, and Jason Miyares. He's the Attorney General of the Commonwealth of Virginia, one of the states that prevailed in court. So 4 states had already blocked the implementation of the new revised Biden Title IX. Add now Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Indiana, and West Virginia to that. Riley, your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge win. This is, of course, a huge win for women and girls. But really what this is a huge win for humanity. It is a win for objective truth. I have been more hopeful these past few weeks than I have been at any point these past 2 years that I have so unapologetically and firmly taken this stand. And it's because of people like Attorney General Miyares, Attorney General Scrimeti of Tennessee, the other 4 attorney generals, really the other 8 attorney generals. These are now 10 states who have this preliminary injunction issued to them. So I feel very hopeful. I think the gender ideology house of cards is crumbling, and it's crumbling fast.
So, Mr. Attorney General, the critics say that while Title IX's original intent was to preserve opportunities for women in education and activities, what the revised Title IX would do under Biden would be to preserve those opportunities for biological men, which flies in the face of the original intent of Title IX.
Right, exactly. Title IX for a half a century has been in the cornerstone of protecting women in education, either K through 12 or college, and specifically, it's been one of the pillars for protecting women's sports. And the idea that Biden would just not go through Congress, just have a radical new left-wing interpretation of Title IX, a way it's never been interpreted for close to half a century, was simply astonishing. And that's why myself, banded together with so many other AGs in Virginia, we like to say we're the people's protector in the Attorney General's office. That absolutely means protecting women's sports. We're very grateful for the court considering our legal arguments, and we're so grateful for the injunction allowing us to protect and preserve women's sports in K through 12 and higher ed in Virginia and these other states.
In issuing the temporary injunction, the Chief Judge of the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of Kentucky, Judge Danny Reeves, said the following: despite society's enduring recognition of biological differences between the sexes, as well as an individual's basic right to bodily privacy, the final rule, that's the Biden rule, mandates that schools permit biological men into women's intimate spaces and women into men's within the educational environment based entirely on a person's subjective gender identity. This result is not only impossible to square with Title IX, but with the broader guarantee of education protection for all students. You have had, Riley, experience in this intimate spaces issue when you were swimming against Leah Thomas. For a woman, what is that like?
I think, to put it in plain words, it felt like betrayal. It felt like an utter violation. And truly, it was traumatizing. And not even necessarily traumatizing because of what we were forced to see. Again, a 6'4" man, fully naked, fully intact, fully exposing himself, simultaneously inches away from where we were fully undressed. But it was traumatizing for me to know just how easy it was for those people who created and enforced these policies to totally dismiss our rights to privacy without even a second thought, without even bare minimum, John, forewarning us that we would be sharing this changing space. That's what the Biden administration, that's the message he's sending to young girls like myself.
And Mr. Attorney General, the Biden administration in rewriting Title IX left out the idea of guaranteeing access to transgender athletes. They knew that it was a real hot button issue to bring up during an election year. But if Biden gets reelected to another 4-year term, do you think he will add that in?
Well, no question. But let's be clear. What the Biden administration wrote was so-called protections for all after-school activities and facilities at schools. That obviously mean locker rooms and sporting events. And I would just echo Riley, I've talked to some of these athletes. So one word they kept bringing up to me was a sense of humiliation. One athlete shared to me she had to change in a janitor's closet because of a biological male in her locker room. And they kept asking me, who's going to stand up for us? And I could tell you, me and other like-minded attorney generals, we're going to stand up for our female athletes and make sure they protect that right to privacy and the ability to compete in women's sports.
But you've also got a legislature that's trying to shut down those efforts, so we'll see where it all goes. Attorney General Jason Miyares, Riley Gaines, good to see you. Thanks for joining us, folks. Appreciate it.
Good to see you, John.
Thank you.